Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Sherman Reed. Today I'll be doing my November/December TBR. So at this point in time, it's already past November, but it's okay. I'm finally filming this. And as always, I'll be starting off with my every 2 months reading challenges for myself. And the first one for this one is to read a series. So this time around, I decided to pick a duology instead because I feel like I've been picking trilogies or possibly even longer series, and I feel like this time, because it's the holidays, I want to not overextend myself. So this time around I decided to go with The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. This is book 2, and this is book 1, The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. All I know about the series is that it has something to do with the Arabian Nights, and that's kind of all I want to know going in, but I believe it's a retelling or reimagined, inspired by something like that. And I've heard mixed reviews, but I've heard that she has very beautiful writing, so I am pretty excited for that. Then the next challenge I always try to do for myself every 2 months is to read a 500+ page book. Again, this time around, you can see my theme right now is to be very low-key because I literally picked a book that's, I want to say, 501 pages. Yes, literally 501 pages, and that is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I'm finally getting around to this book. It's been on my TBR for God knows how long, but I'm finally getting to it. For this book, I've heard some amazing reviews, but for book 2, I've heard some mixed reviews, so I don't really know if I want to pick up book 2, but as of right now, I definitely want to pick up book 1. Alright, and then finally, the last 3 challenges that I try to do for myself every 2 months is to do some ebooks. So I have my mug here, which has a bunch of Edelweiss and Nick Galley picks. Honestly, I was really impressed with how I did for September and October because not only did I finish the 3 books that I had picked for myself, but I believe I finished another 2, possibly even 3 books. I think I finished 2 and then I DNF'd 1. So I feel so proud of myself for actually reading so many more ebooks than I had imagined. So hopefully I will continue with a streak. So let's just go with the first one. The first book here is I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Gilly Segal. This book came out in August, and I believe I actually have the ARC version of it because I got this during BA. So either way, if I pick up an ebook or physical, I would definitely read this sometime this next 2 months, at least hopefully. Then the next pick here is Supernova by Cass Morgan. Oh, I don't know if I can read this one actually. So I don't think I can actually pick this one up yet because I haven't read the first book, which is Light Years. So I don't know. I'm gonna put this on the side for now, and if I can pick up the first book and then pick up this one, that would be great. But as of right now, I'm going to skip that one and pick another second one. Okay, so the second one now is House of Brides by Jane Cockrum. Oh gosh, I can't even read my own handwriting. Okay, so this one is The House of Brides by Jane Cockrum. This one is a thrilling debut, and it came out in end of October, and it's supposed to be a psychological suspense novel. So for these type of books, I definitely do not want to go too much into it in terms of what this book is about because I like to go into it pretty blind so I can get all the twists and turns and first impressions without reading too much into the synopsis. So this is the second book. I'm pretty excited for this one actually. And then the third and final ebook that I want to pick up is High Fire by Eoin Colfer. So for this one, I'm actually really excited for it because this is the same author who wrote the Artemis Fowl series way back when, and this was one of my most beloved middle grade series that I read back in the day. So when I saw that he was writing this book, I was very intrigued. And this one doesn't come out until January 28th, 2020. So according to Goodreads, I'm gonna say very quickly right here, is that it's an adult novel about a vodka drinking, flash dance loving dragon who lives an isolated life in the bayous of Louisiana, and the raucous adventures that ensues when he crosses paths with a 15-year-old troublemaker on the run from a crooked sheriff. So I'm guessing this is like kind of what happens after that, and I am so excited because I loved Artemis Fowl growing up, so cannot wait for this one. Okay, so now that I've gotten those challenges out of the way, I do have a bunch of arcs that I do want to get to sometime in the next 2 months. The first one here is Unnatural Magic by C.M. Wagoner, and this one comes out tomorrow, so I do want to read this ASAP. And all I know is that it has something to do with like a magic academy, and it's a fantasy novel. And honestly, anything to do with magic academies, school, boarding school, fantasy, those are all buzzwords for me, so I am so intrigued by this book. Then the next one that I want to pick up is Coral by Sarah Ella. This is another arc, and it comes out on November 12th, 2019. So again, this is another book that I really want to pick up ASAP. So this book is very unique because it's supposed to be a twist on Little Mermaid, and it talks about mental illnesses. So I'm definitely intrigued to read this new twist because I always love retellings and inspirations by fairy tales, so I am really excited for this one. And honestly, I am more excited because the last fairy tale retelling that I read for Little Mermaid was so bad, so I'm really hoping that this one is so much better. Then the next arc that I want to get to is Novice Dragoneer by E.E. Knight. This one comes out again tomorrow, which is November 5th, and this book has some something to do with dragons and a girl trying to become a dragoneer. I'm not exactly sure what a dragoneer is. I don't know if they are dragon riders or if there's something else entirely, but regardless, this book has dragons. It's a fantasy novel, and you guys know I love my dragons, so I am pumped for this one. Then the next book that I want to get to is The Library of the Unwritten by AJ Hackworth. This one already came out. It came out on October 1st, 2019, so I'm kind of behind on this one, but I want to pick this up soon. So this book just sounds really interesting because it follows a girl. Her name is Claire, and she's the head librarian of the Unwritten Wing, which basically is an area where these are all unfinished drafts that authors wrote but never completed, and her job really is to keep an eye out on things and making sure that these restless stories don't materialize as characters. So what happens when a hero jumps out of its book and decides to seek its author, I guess in the hopes of having his story or her story written? So now Claire must track this hero down with the help of a former muse and current assistant Brevity and a nervous demon Leto. So I don't know, this sounds like super intriguing to me. It seems like next level Sorcery of Thrones, which I absolutely adored, so I am really excited for this one. Then the next book that I want to pick up is Sisters of Shadow and Light by Sarah B. Larson. This is another arc that comes out sometime in November. It doesn't say when exactly, so regardless, I need to read this as soon as possible. And the reason why this book piqued my interest is because it has something to do with paladins, which are legendary warriors, and I am so intrigued by this. And it says over here that it's supposed to be a timeless fantastical tale about the bond between sisters and the powerful magic that can tear them apart. So I'm definitely excited for this one. Then the last arc that I want to pick up is Refraction by Naomi Hughes. This is another arc that comes out tomorrow, which is November 5th. So I'm saying tomorrow, but in reality though, by the time this video comes out, it's most likely going to be a few days later. And I've actually started reading this book today, and I'm currently on page 33, so I haven't really made too much progress, but so far I'm enjoying it a lot. It has something to do with a guy, his name is Marty, who is a dealer with mirrors, because a year ago there was a fracture where aliens invaded, and now all reflective services can somehow cause these aliens to show up and basically tear you apart. So now they live in this little area, this little island where mirrors are outlawed, and he's a dealer where he provides mirrors to people who are interested in having mirrors, because apparently what happens is that mirrors, even though it causes these aliens, these beings to show up, it also creates this electrical charge or something like that where it can power almost anything. So people sometimes are interested in the pros of what a mirror can have versus the downside to it. So far it's pretty interesting. I haven't really gotten too much into it, but he just got caught by the mayor's son, and so now afterward, I believe what happens here is that he goes to exile, and now he has to go into the fog, which is where the beings reside. And so far I don't really know what to expect, but it's pretty interesting so far. It's very action-packed for sure, so I'm definitely intrigued by this book. So anyways, this is the last arc that I want to pick up in the next 2 months. And as always, I have a few backlisted books that I want to pick up as well. The first one here is Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. This has been, I don't know how long it's been on there, guys, but it's been on my shelf for, I want to say, since 2017 or something like that. When did this book even come out? 2017, because I actually have an arc of this, and I believe someone gave it to me, but anyways, point is I should probably pick this up soon. So this book follows two girls. One is Imogen, who is a runaway heiress, an orphan, a cook, and a cheat, and it follows a girl called Jewel, who's a fighter, a social chameleon, and an athlete. And I guess there's some sort of intense friendship between the two of them, a disappearance, a murder, or maybe two. A bad romance, or maybe three. A girl who refuses to give people what they want from her, and a girl who refuses to be the person she once was. So this is definitely a book where I've heard some mixed reviews, but I feel like the more recent ones I've heard have been really positive, so I'm definitely intrigued by this for sure. The next book that I'm going to pick up is A Short History of the Girl Next Door by Jared Reck. This is another arc that I got back in 2017, and I want to say this book is a cute contemporary romance, and that's kind of all I know. It follows a guy called Matt, his best friend Tabby, who apparently he's in love with, so I don't know, but this book sounds really cute, so I just want something that's short, especially because the next 2 months are crazy, so I'm very excited for this one. So the next book that I'm going to pick up is It's Always the Husband by Michelle Campbell. This is a thriller novel, I'm assuming, based on the title of this book. So this book follows three women. Their names are Kate, Aubrey, and Jenny, who have been best friends since college, and they swore that they would always be for each other. Fast forward 20 years later, one of them is standing at the edge of the bridge and someone is urging her to jump. How did it come to this? So definitely curious about this one, and I feel like thrillers go pretty easily for me, so I feel like this will be a really good pick for these 2 months. All right, then the next backlisted book that I want to pick up is A Reincarnation Blues by Michael Poore. I remember getting this during BookCon 2017, and this line was crazy, and here I am now 2 years later trying to read this book. So this book is all about reincarnation. It follows a boy or a guy, his name is Milo, who apparently has had 9,995 chances so far and has only 5 more lives to earn a place in the cosmic soul. So it's supposed to be a great love story, but more than that. So pretty curious about this one. Okay, then the last backlisted book that I want to pick up is Whisper by Lynette Noni. This one I believe has something to do with magic, suspense, romance, and mystery. It follows a Jane Doe, subject 684, who has been locked underground in a secret government facility, and the entire time she has not uttered a single word, not even her name. One day, as a last-ditch effort to get her to open up, the authorities put her in the care of a mysterious Landon Ward. And to her surprise, this guy is actually really nice, and her resolve starts to crack. But then one day, a freak accident occurs, and this accident reveals her darkest secret and the dangerous power she's concealed for years. So apparently when she speaks, things happen, and now finding her voice is a matter of life and death. So I'm definitely intrigued by this book for sure. I feel like this book kind of has some similar vibes to Shatter Me, with the whole being locked up first of all, being not able to interact with people. I mean, for her case, she can't talk, but for Juliet's case, it was the fact that she couldn't touch anyone. So there's definitely some similar parallels between these 2 books, and I absolutely love the Shatter Me series, so I have some pretty high hopes for this one as well. Then the last book that I want to read is actually from my YA book club, and that is Daughter of Spoken Bones by Laini Taylor. This book has been, I don't even know what to say for this book, because I actually started this book way back when as an audiobook. I DNF'd it maybe an hour into it. I couldn't get into it, but then I read Stranger Dreamer back last year and I loved it so much that I was like, I want to give her books another shot. So I decided to pick up the series. So here I am finally reading book 1 again, and this time I do have a copy of it. I just need to find it. So but anyways, those are all the books that I want to pick up during these 2 months. I'm really hoping I get to them. Some of these books are definitely short, so I really hope I can finish a lot of these books. But November and December honestly is super busy for me, but I'm definitely hoping that I can get to most of these books sometime these 2 months. Let me know down below which books are you planning to read for the next 2 months, or I guess just this month, because I think I'm the only one who plans 2 months in advance. But anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time.